We continue our 2016 high school football preview series on DTC Sports today at DeKalb County High School in Smithville with DeKalb County head football coach Steve Trapp. Coach, good to have you today. Taking a look at, well, first of all, let's take a look at you here in Region 4-3A, 12 years on the job now. You're not even 40 years old. We can say you're already the graybeard in this region. You've been doing this for a pretty good while now.
Well, I'm telling you, that alumni game I participated in this spring was a verification of how close I'm getting to 40. But, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to take over here as the head coach at an early age. And 12 years after that fact, I think we've made a lot of strides to making this program into something different. And we just want to continue that tradition. So I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to be here, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Season in and season out now, it seems expectations have been high at DeKalb County. 2016 is no different. In fact, Coach, you've kind of got the target on your back. If you look at the publications, Murphy Fair and whatnot, DeKalb County projected #1 with basically 19 starters back. You would expect those high expectations this year.
And definitely, and something that we've always said is that is what we want in our football program. Each and every year we want to have those types of expectations, and as a program, as coaches and players, we definitely have those. So it's also good to have those coming in from our outside sources, but ultimately on paper we look like a good football team. It's up to us to go out and prove it.
Coach, I know you've got some experience in the skill positions. We're going to get back to that, but where it's going to start for you this year, I believe, is the offensive line, where you've got a lot of experience, a lot of size, a lot of intelligence, and possibly, arguably, maybe the best offensive line unit in the history of this program.
We've had some good ones. You know, in 2008, when we finally got things turned around going in the right direction, that was a good group of guys. 2012, those guys stepped it up even more. But this group here, they're special. They've got the size, they got the athletic ability to do what we need to do, and they've got a lot of experience. You know, Zatarico and Eli Cross both have been starting since they were freshmen. The other guys have been starting since they were sophomores, so a lot of games under their belts. They fix a lot of stuff on the field before we even have to as coaches, and that's a great luxury to have.
I believe all 5 either first or second team all-region last year. In fact, 10 all-region performers returning for your team this year. And we mentioned the skill positions, of course, starting with your quarterback, senior Stephen Jennings. He's been fantastic, all-state selection by Murphy Fair, and expectations certainly high for him this year.
Definitely, and he's had a great command of our offense, even stepping in day one as a freshman. Really didn't think that I was going to get what I got when he was a freshman, but just really more mature than his age was back then, and he's just gotten better each and every year. I've not called a play all summer with that guy in our 7-on-7s and things like that. And what's really good to sit back and watch as a coach is not only him as a quarterback, but our receivers and everybody. Again, they're creating their own thing within the confines of our offense and making it look good while they're doing it.
It's hard to imagine him even taking a step further than what we saw of him last year, but I'm sure he's grown some during the offseason. Talk about some changes we may see in his game this year.
Well, definitely. He was our biggest running threat last year. Hopefully we can build something more stable in our running back situation this year where we don't have that much pressure on him, but that's still going to be a big element of our offense in his game as well. But as much as he has improved, I really feel that our receiving core has stepped up their game quite a bit. We were inconsistent last year catching the football at times, and it really cost us to allow some games to stay closer probably than they should, but they've had a great summer in 7-on-7s, and I just think the ultimate confidence that, you know, they're seniors, they've been through it for a couple years now, and it just helps them play looser and more free, and our offense has really looked good all summer.
You mentioned the receivers and the drops being an issue last season. Let's talk, though, about that, Cruz. You've got basically your top 3 or 4 receivers returning to the team this year. Talk about their growth during the offseason and how much better this core has looked.
Well, definitely, and like I said a few moments ago, I think it's about, you know, that experience factor. They've been through it. There's really nothing that they have not seen. And again, offensively, those guys are creating stuff on their own. They're looking at defenses, talking with each other and say, hey, let's do this, and it works. And it's, again, it comes back to the experience level we've got, the work that they've put in. I mean, Matthew Paul's is a 190-pound outside receiver, kicker, punter, do everything for us. They've worked extremely hard in the weight room, and they really have an understanding that this is it. It's their senior year, and they've been out on the field now for 3 and 4 years. So, again, it's just a whole lot of confidence and experience coming together all at one time.
You touched on your offensive backfield. Stevens, your top returning rusher, of course. You had some bumps and bruises in the offensive backfield. It seemed like you got one running back going. He would go out with an injury. Talk about how that position has grown and what we expect there this year.
Well, Jesse Smith come in and wasn't really even thought about as a running back at all last year, but he came in and was our top running back producer. You know, Steven overall running was it, but he come in and did a really good job. And coming into this year, we really didn't want to use him at the tailback position because he is so important on the defensive side. He actually tweaked his knee in a spring scrimmage, so he's going to get off to a slow start to the season. He's going to miss a few weeks, but Drew Castorina, who started a few games for us last year, was a brand new position for him, so really didn't get into the groove of things there. Did really well catching the ball out of the backfield, so he's back there again. Tyler Bundy, as a sophomore, has a shot to really help our football team out. Just got to get that maturity level up to where we want it. He was hampered all last year by a bum ankle, so we really didn't get to use him a whole lot. But those are probably our top two guys, and then we got some guys that'll fill some fullback roles. And Colton Seifert's one of those little shifty guys that we may use him as a wide receiver and a running back. So we definitely got more options there this year. So a lot of competition helps at any position.
Looking at the defensive line, some of your guys on the offensive line will see some time there. I know Tavian Noakes had a great year last year on the defensive line. Talk about the players stepping up there, and talk about the quality of depth you have on your defensive line.
And, up front on both sides of the ball, that's probably the strength of our team. And we've got 11 to 12 guys that we can rotate in at the defensive line position, ranking from sophomores all the way up to seniors. We have the opportunity not to have our offensive line starting right away on the defense. So there, the last couple of weeks of last season, we started 3 plays, all new linemen, and it really made a difference. So that's something we're going to look at doing again this year. But just quality guys. Devin Bain is back with us this year as a senior after moving out of state last year, and has been a force on the defensive line, and also gives us great depth on the offensive line as well. So that's going to be a very exciting group. We have the opportunity to control the line of scrimmage, and that just makes every other level better.
Your secondary, also some key players back there. Like I said at the top of our talk here, you got about 19 starters back, experience at about every position. You got to be excited though too about your secondary.
Yeah, Bradley Miller. I mean, this summer we've just called him a playmaker. I mean, they try to throw on his side. He's either breaking it up, picking it off, or making sure he gets them on the ground for a very minimal gain. Drew Castorina on the other side at corner, and then both our safeties. We've got Christian Pruitt and Riley Sexton. Those guys, again, it's that experience and that comfort level. We had some mess ups in our secondary last year that allowed some big plays, but we've not seen that at all in 7-on-7. It's been tough to score on us, even in 7-on-7. So those guys have done a great job, and again, experience and confidence does wonders for you. Size
and experience up front. You talk about the quarterback, of course, he is primed for an excellent year. You've also got that Swiss Army knife. You mentioned Matthew Paws. All-state selection at punter, all-region, of course, last year. He can do everything. He can catch the ball, run the ball, return punts, return kicks, kick the ball, punt the ball. It's great having a player like that that's so diverse, and I know he's going to bring a lot to your football team again this year.
Definitely, just the versatility, like you said. We've actually moved him as a backup safety this year because he's so fast and intelligent, and he can cover a lot of ground. But none of our receivers are actually starting in the secondary. Bradley Miller and Riley Sexton, they're going to be rotating series at wide receiver. So, but yeah, Paul's on the offensive side. He was our top receiver last year. He's had a great summer. Jones on the other side as well. He's another backup safety, but he is an elite punter. I mean, when it comes off his foot right, it looks like something special. And there's some colleges that have taken notice of that, and hopefully that's what he wants to pursue at the next level. But for us, on the high school level, he's a heck of a weapon.
Coach, I've been around you about the full 12 years you've been here at DeKalb County High School, and I know one thing you always focus, take care of what's in front of you first and foremost, but there are such high expectations this year. I know the players have high expectations. How do you temper that and keep their focus down to take care of what's in front of you, one game at a time, one play at a time?
It goes back to the core of our program, and we talk about Tiger Pride. And a part of that is always being better the next day than you were the day before, but you can't lose focus on that day. So it's not creating nothing new. These guys understand the opportunities they have. We don't keep that a secret. It would be wrong of us if we did. Every other team that we play understand that as well, so we know we're going to get everybody's best shot. And personally, every team on our schedule is better, and we have to make sure that we're better as well. So like I said, it's nothing new. We don't have to create anything. It's just make sure we live up to the core of our program and just focus on doing the best you can when your moment's called.
When you look at the region Upperman, of course, their program, Coach Herron's taking it to unprecedented heights. Sequatchie County made a grand entrance last year, very competitive. We look for Smith County. I think we'll have a nice bounce-back season. York Institute, we're hearing a lot of players back there this year. Grundy gave you a tough fight last year. Cannon's always a big rivalry. You have the target on your back, but it still looks like this region, much like last year, very tough to predict, and a lot of good quality teams at the top.
You're correct, and like I just said, every team on our schedule, especially our district teams, they're better this year. They've got a lot of guys returning, so it's going to be a grind in this region.
Coach Trapp, wish you the best of luck throughout the 2016 season.
Appreciate it.
Previewing the DeKalb County High School Tiger football season right here on DTC Sports.